for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
7 and 8 miles Bull Bay on lockdown and residents under quarantine to reduce the spread of the coronavirus. Several security checkpoints are now in place and the flow of movement is controlled by security officers. Some residents have, however, found means of evading security officers by walking through the Cane River to access food or to travel to work. When asked why this is happening, one resident in the 7 miles area spoke to us from behind a tire barrier and gave this response.
For 4 days now, we're out of food. The soldier, the police, them lock we down in here. We cannot come out to get nothing for the kids them. We not see nobody come deliver no food. If we not have it so we have corona, come test we, make we get a release. 14-day
lockdown was announced last Friday at a news conference. The Prime Minister indicated that Jamaica was now a disaster zone and residents in the Bull Bay area must stay home unless authorized to leave. But questions are being raised about the lack of essentials provided.
Not even water we not. And them have we in lock up. What we lock up for? If you dead for hungry, this coming like on the corona will kill we. I'm hungry. Look how my mouth live dry. We want to do something for we. Come test we and make we start get something to eat. Eh? This not happy. We're not happy. The people them afraid of them one another. We are run from one another.
Other persons in the community have expressed concern, stating they were waiting for directives from the health ministry to move freely.
We're building a skate park right here for the local youth community.
Oh. Yeah, that's our biggest concern, if we don't get concrete to build on. But I think we're going to get it.
Yeah.
We should get it tomorrow.
And we're pushing. Other than that, we're not scared of coronavirus. It's just a load of hysteria.
It's a killer disease, you know? Yeah, very dangerous, you know?
Are you scared?
Well, I'm not that really scared still. Really, I've been looking at things and really white now, you know?
The 7 and 8 miles Bull Bay area remains under quarantine as the government tries to contain the spread of the coronavirus. Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
Shooters Hill is a very big community, understand? So the little food that come, it now go end. And if them quarantine front road and them not do backtrack, them in it, garden close into it, and more, and enough resident up here don't get any food, and them quarantine too. So what we are going to do? They have to put something in place so everybody can get a food. But and another thing again, you have 3 and 4 houses in a 1 yard and a 3 kitchen in there. You understand? So it want more and it have to fix properly anyway.
There are a few gaps and it's expected in these circumstances. This is very new, unusual. But I will say that for the most part the teams are working together. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security have distributed hundreds of packages, maybe 400 or 500. They are here this morning with another 300. My view is that we need to step up the pace here. The private sector have come on board. I've been in touch with the PSOJ. They are mobilizing additional resources and we're going to add significant more distribution over the coming days.
Yesterday them say 1 bag to a house. But you have to directly tell them say a 2 house or a 3 house in the yard and a 3 kitchen that and a 3 bathroom down. You understand? So you have to take people from the community to know it. For like people like you know for come in with it and somebody from out of the community will know say a 3 kitchen in the yard and a 2 kitchen and a 1 kitchen there. So it will run smooth. But if some get and some not get it, will cost war. Because it cost war yesterday. It cost war up the road yesterday. You understand? And the people them we say them not forget no food. Them can't walk free like everybody. Because one community.
One of the things that we're trying to do, right? we start off by giving the people who are on the list of indigent. Because remember now, the shop them still open and so on. So the food packages were not intended to initially give everybody. It was to give the people who are most in need, the indigent, the people on pass, that sort of thing. So that's how we start. However, we also recognize that since you have to be in the community for a number of days and some of you have to go out and work and you can't get to work and so on, by you get to day 4 or 5, some people are going to run out and may not have the money to replenish them stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So from that standpoint now we have to ramp up and get more so that we can give people who would have been able to afford if they could have gone to work on that time, on the day. Because we know it go. Some of us live based on the daily money that we make, right? And we can't ignore that. So what I'm committing to you now is that what we're going to be doing is ramping up what we have to give, right? You have been right, and you will see more packages coming in the community. I just met with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. We just have a conversation. They have another 300 or 400 packages here now, and they are packing other packages. So we'll bring more into the community. As far as medical support is concerned, the base is here. What I want them to do is to report where they have problems, and we will fill on demand things like prescriptions and so on. We have 14, I am told, medical personnel in the community now doing house to house, doing interviews and so on. So we're on the ground. So the only issue I see as of now is that some people feel that they should get more supplies. And we're working closely with the Ministry of Labour, Social Security, and with other donor agencies to beef up the number of supplies.
Currently the configuration, we have 7 public health nurses, senior officers, 7 public health inspectors, 1 health education officer, 40 community health aid, and they're actually doing house-to-house surveillance and temperature check for every single person. And every day we have been in the community from Saturday doing that sort of work. In our box, we do a collection box. We will collect their prescription, take it to NHF, have them fill it, and we take it back here and distribute it to the front.
We have to respond to the needs more so the longer the period, as the period progresses.
I will do next Wednesday. This place, may I tell you, I mean, today was a day, man. Today come like Sunday in Kingston. Believe you me, the town is locked down. And I am totally in agreement with it. Totally in agreement with it. Lock down everything. That people can communicate with them family more. Some people can't tell when last them see them pick the face. When you get the opportunity to see you pick the face now. So it's really weird where I go on though. I mean, we don't experience something here. It happened before in the world, but most of we never experienced it. It happened before. During World War I, it happened. And it happened after that. You know, so you have some countries where we are going here, so now, many times, especially in Africa. Remember when the Ebola had come out? That was something else, man. That was something else. But good news. Good news. Good news is that most of the people them who them hold on pan and attack them and I check them and all them really. Most of them do have it. Yes. So far, them say 1 person dead. But we have to realize that this is the beginning. Because Italy reached a stage now where it's unbelievable we are going in Italy. Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. It's almost like it's worse than China. Can you believe that? Look how far China they're from Italy. Look how far China they're from Italy. And if you don't hear, let me tell you this now. In Italy today, in Italy, 300 odd people dead from the coronavirus. 300 odd people died today alone from this virus. And now it is the center of the whole thing. It a bust up like China, but at least China have it, them say, under control. And Japan is doing, South Korea is doing quite well. A lot of people now is getting better. You know, it's not as much debt in such country compared to the amount that is getting over it. But it's weird, man. It's weird. There is a thing going on in Seattle that maybe most of you don't know about it, but they are doing some experiment with a drug. And some people come forward to make them do the experiment on them. Can you believe that, man? In the name of humanity and saving and preserving life. You have some people come forward to say, all right, joke me with a needle and make me say this thing can work. And the thing about this drug is that them don't use no part of the virus. Because for those of you who don't know, but sometimes when them create a virus, them use the same virus to create the vaccination to counteract the virus. Don't ask me about how that works, but that's a doctor argument. But in Seattle, them bring forward some people, at least some people bring forward themselves to test this vaccine that them creating. We want to listen in upon it.
Its very first coronavirus vaccine, 840 cases. It's a fast-moving story, and she joins us right now, the very first coronavirus vaccine volunteer, Jennifer Haller, and back with us for a medical perspective, Anne Rimion, an epidemiologist at UCLA. Jennifer, thank you for what you're doing. Obviously, this fits into a lot of the different ways people are participating and trying to help around the nation. And thank you for being willing to talk with us.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so excited to be the first person. This is crazy.
Yeah, right. Crazy is one word for it. I think it's got to have a lot of different feelings for you. Very straightforward. I'd love for you to just tell us, you know, as they say in your own words, how did this come about, and walk us through what happened today.
Yeah, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, there was a call for volunteers, and filled out a form and got a call back, and went through the phone screen, past that, went in person for a physical exam, blood draw. Everything looked good there, and here we are. I went in this morning at 8 a.m. and got the first dose. There it is. I am, we feel, all of us, I know we feel so helpless. Like, what can we do? And I am so excited that there was actually something that I could do, and I did it, and I'm doing it. And I'm so proud of myself, and so thankful for the privilege that I have that allows me to do this. I'm healthy. I have a full-time job, salary job. My company is flexible. They allow me to take time off to do this. I've supported friends and family. My real concern is for the people that have hourly jobs, that lives are going to be severely impacted coming up soon.
Based on what you're learning and what you're participating in, where does this process go from here?
I do a daily log, temperature and any side effects that I'm feeling. I keep track of those. I, of course, call in if I have any issues. Do a phone call tomorrow, phone call the next day. I'll do weekly follow-ups, and then I'll get a second dose of the vaccine in, I think, about 4 weeks. And then I'll be followed through about 14 months through the study.
And did the folks involved in this tell you about any potential risks? Obviously, this is, to put it simply, hopefully a good thing. and you're participating in it, but you can imagine some people at home wondering, oh my gosh, everyone's nervous about all sorts of things right now. How were you walked through the risk? How do you see that?
Yeah, a really important thing to understand that's really helped a lot of friends and family who were concerned is that this vaccine uses messenger RNA, so it does not use any of the virus. So at no point during the study will it be exposed to the virus. So that's awesome. Regular potential side effects from a vaccine, totally up for those. And then, of course, there's the absolute unknown, right? This one has never been tested in a human, and I'm up for it. I'm ready.
And if they do have a breakthrough here, would you be really excited to be a part of demonstrating that? I mean, there's so much of this story that's been so hard on people. It would seem this would be an opportunity, potentially. I don't want to get ahead of, obviously, the test run, but would you be excited if it works out?
Well, I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, the chance that I could have something to do with helping save lives is huge. And if this isn't the right vaccine or whatever, I mean, at least I'm part of the process. We're part of figuring this out and getting closer to something to help everybody.
Yeah. Fantastic. Stay with me. As mentioned, we're getting this very newsworthy perspective from you as Americans and people around the country and the world are wondering about the race for a cure or a vaccine. As mentioned, I have Dr. Ramoyne here. What do you think it's important that people understand about these types of tests?
So in terms of the vaccine that we're discussing right now, vaccines will take a while to be able to move forward and to be able to go through all the safety testing. There are a lot of regulatory aspects here, and what this woman is doing right now, which is really wonderful, is participating in a vaccine trial. In terms of tests, there are several tests that are coming online, and the more that we can get screening going rapidly, disseminated everywhere, the better we are, and the more that we'll understand what we have in this country in terms of burden of infection. That will help dictate where policy goes.
And again, following up to you, everyone wants to know about timelines. How quickly do you think we could learn about whether a given vaccine or a given experimental cure could be workable and then distributed?
It really, there are several steps, regulatory steps that have to happen, and this is to protect people, to make sure that there are no side effects, that the safety data is really straight, is very good. And once we have those data, then it can move forward into the next step. But there are always several regulatory steps that protect everyone, so that when a vaccine is available to the public, it will we'll know that it works well. And we still do believe that this will take at least a year or so to be able to be available to the public. So right now, all of the measures that we're talking about, we can't be putting our hopes into a vaccine. We need to be putting our energy into social distancing, to making sure that hospitals are not overloaded, and that everybody does their part to be able to slow the spread of this virus.
Really great points about the difference between a panacea, hoping for this to all just be worked out, versus all the things we've been covering that people still have to do. Jennifer, final question. What do your friends and family say? What are you telling them?
Some are wary about it, but no, it is amazing, the outpouring of support and love that I've received from friends and family, and I've had messages from strangers on Facebook thanking me, and it's so, I'm just so thankful that.
Yes, well, lady, you're brave. Yeah, well, you're brave, but that is how things develop still. You have some people where almost without fear or favor, do it. But may I tell you, it's something else to do that. Yeah? Something else to do that. Because usually, so them usually do experiment on unwilling people. Yeah, them do that. Over the years, them capture some people and do some experiment on them. We talk about the Tuskegee experiment in America, where them get 300 black male and inject them with syphilis. Yes, it's something else. This coronavirus where everybody are talking about. But in Jamaica, most of the people them who are on the quarantine list look like them all right. And most of the other people them look like them pass the worst. A whole heap of them pass the worst. Because there's no people on there. Yes, it seems as if most people are show signs of all right. You know, it's not death and destruction all the way. It's life. and we hear somebody dead, yet still we hear 300 are dead today in Italy. But when you look on the overall statistics, hardly anybody dead from it. More people dead from flu this year than we are dead from the corona already. It's the rapidness of the thing get people bummy. Rapid, or you catch it quick and it's visible, and so much people one time I catch it were visible. The visibility of it is where create the fear in other people them. Yeah, the fear, man. And you can see say there is a lot of fear going around, may I tell you? And not only fear, but panic. Panic. Yes, according to Lee Scratchberg, panic. Panic in a Babylon, panic. But this lady, very articulately, is a doctor. She said in this thing about how come I hear about the people that will get better.
If you get coronavirus, are you likely going to die from it? And if not, why aren't we hearing from people who have lived through coronavirus infection? Those two questions are questions you guys have sent me multiple times in the last week, and I realized I needed to break it down and explain it. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I'm a family physician doing videos on coronavirus every single day to answer your questions. First of all, guys, let me put your mind at ease. If you get coronavirus, you are not likely to die from complications of coronavirus, okay? In fact, 80% of people who get coronavirus only have mild to moderate symptoms at best. Most people, by far, not only live, but they live and they do very well. It's only a very small percentage of people.
No, I could start this over, you know. I could start this over. Because we want the Jamaican people them hear this. We want all the people them in Jamaica to listen to this doctor that here. We shall talk about that. You hardly hear about the people them who survive it. And it's a minute amount of people die from it. We're not hearing that, but it's the truth. Consider how much people them say is now infested with this virus, and consider how much people them say die. And look in your old thinking and say, the proportion of you saying, wow, look how much people survive this thing, are terrible. It's much, much less than the people that might say, rotted, my good are dead. Look how much people are dead. It strike fear at you, because when you sit down and hear say 300 people dead in one day in Italy, that leave us some weird feeling in you. Yet still, when I hear about the maybe 500 will get better today. We'll leave hospital, we'll leave quarantine, we'll leave all the places where them put them, isolation and all them things there. So, why you listen to her? Why you listen to her, yes.
If you get coronavirus, are you likely going to die from it? And if not, why aren't we hearing from people who have lived through coronavirus infection? Those two questions are questions you guys have sent me multiple times in the last week, and I realized I needed to break it down and explain it. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I'm a family physician doing videos on coronavirus every single day to answer your questions. First of all, guys, let me put your mind at ease. If you get coronavirus, you are not likely to die from complications of coronavirus, okay? In fact, 80% of people who get coronavirus only have mild to moderate symptoms at best. Most people, by far, not only live, but they live and they do very well. It's only a very small percentage of people that go on to have complications and actually die from the condition. So please understand that. Getting coronavirus does not mean you're necessarily going to die. Now, the people who are at highest risk from having these complications and doing worse, I keep saying over and over again, but I want to remind us, are those who are over 60 and in particular over the age of 80, and those who have underlying medical conditions, no matter what age they are. If you have a weakened immune system, if you're on certain treatments, immune suppressants, things like that, okay? But most people do just fine. So you say, well, then why haven't we heard from the survivors? The news keeps talking about how bad this is, but where's the good news? Why aren't you telling me, why aren't you giving me stories about people who survive? And that's what you guys are saying to me. Why aren't you hearing about survivors? I think some of the reason is that we haven't diagnosed all the people in this country with it. You know that we have a shortage of diagnostic kits and tests, so we don't know everyone who has it. And it is possible to have such mild symptoms you may not even know you have coronavirus. But let me give you a couple of facts. First of all, okay, generally the symptoms of coronavirus start a couple days, 2 to 5 days or so after you get exposed. However, they can come up to 14 days after exposure. The most common symptoms are fever, shortness of breath, and cough, but you can also get symptoms that remind you of a cold or the flu, things like nasal congestion or stuffy nose. You may get body aches, things like that, okay? But most people, 80% of people have mild to moderate disease, and they will recover from their symptoms after 1 to 2 weeks, which is wonderful. Now, those who have more severe symptoms, they may take up to 6 weeks or maybe even a little longer to recover, but the vast majority of people are likely to recover after a couple of weeks. You also asked me, so how would someone treat it? If I got it, what does my family need to do for me? What do I need to do for my kids? Well, it's supportive treatment, guys. That's acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, ibuprofen, which is Motrin, or products like that to help with fever and muscle aches. It's cough suppressants. It's nasal sprays to help with nasal congestion. It's what we call supportive care. Fluids, rest, take it easy, okay? So if there's one thing I need to tell you guys is, I know you're not hearing from the survivors, but just know there are far more survivors than there are people who do not. And remember, just because you get coronavirus does not mean you're going to die from it. Far from it. Most people do well, and most people will recover within a couple of weeks. Guys, stay safe.
Yes, continuing with the Pankia. We just kind of go through some pieces about this dreaded thing where take all of the people, them not only physically, but mentally. And especially mentally. As a matter of fact, right now Jamaica, they're on a more mental thing than a physical thing. We don't know what can happen, you know, because we say it's just, 2 weeks into it, we hear say somebody get it, and now within less than a week or so, when less than 2 weeks, from 1 person to 13. Yes, from 1 to 13. But we want to just listen to where them have to tell you if you do and do it. It's a simple thing, you know. Nobody wants to die. If you don't hear all the church people that talk about them want to go to heaven, until I tell you say you have to dead for go to heaven. No one wants to die. The gunman, him don't want to die. That's why when him have a gun in him and the police, him run. You know, so always hear him go like him a bad man. Him don't want to die. So you have some people who know exactly what is best to make this thing don't spread like wildfire. Like what we see going in Italy, you know. The whole of Italy locked down. Yes. Iran. 10,000 people in Iran have it. 10,000. Them have things that you can do to help to not make you get miserable or your loved ones or your friend them get miserable. So why you listen to what them say and do it. It's a simple thing. Somebody go around and I say, yeah, you see, I just know because Babylon and I just know because them people there I try to kill we half and all them way there. Nobody wants to die. If a man tell you, say, look here, drink enough water and to help the certain things in your structure. If a man tell you, say, look here, you see, if you feel say a man have it, don't go near him. It's very difficult to do that. But I see the logic tonight. I see the logic tonight. If you don't go near him, the chances of you getting sneezed on and cough on is much less. So don't go on like say you want to tell you about what or the blood of Jesus will protect you, or a Jah Rastafari will protect you. Yeah, because you don't see now. Even the church people them, the pastor and the preacher them and the big people them who in a church, is hoping that the scientists them find a cure. It's not God them ask for find a cure now. It's the scientists them. Some of them they will believe in a God. Some of them scientists they will say I work on the cure. Them no, most of them don't believe in a God. But people who believe in a God, I depend upon them to find a cure. So that is how the thing work. That's how the thing work. When you get right down to it, it's the science and the scientists going to find that cure that will alleviate the person who love to pray and love life. So we are tell the people them say, don't play no hero and no shero. Just do what is necessary. Because most of we don't know the hell what is taking place. I have never seen so much WhatsApp scientists in my life and WhatsApp cure all people in my life. From I have my phone is the first I ever say. I get what sometimes me delete some WhatsApp in a one what them call them people a group. I don't know if them no people and have nothing to do at daytime. But me delete it like in the morning and in the evening I see all 50 or 60 or different message in the same WhatsApp from different people. I say, but wait, that's all them people that do Rasta. I send message, oh, guess what? We just found out from a lady that this can cure this and take this drop, that cure it, but alleviate the problem. Take this, that. We just heard that the minister said that. We just heard that this, that. I mean, the news is good. But I am wondering if these people don't have nothing else to do. You know, I don't understand what these people, I guess them passing information that maybe the newspaper can give them. But man, really, you know, really, we want to heal all the people them who realize that it is necessary and important to do this thing here. Like, for instance, washing your hand, because I see the logics of washing your hand. I see the logics. You don't have to think about certain things, you know. There's a logical explanation why it is important that you wash your hand regularly. It's a normal, logical explanation. You know, see, because your hand is the thing with, you do the most things with that touch things. And them say it can live on certain surface for 3 days. I got them I say. Me don't know, but me follow what them say. Me not go play no hero and I go like say, oh, what talk about 3 days? The thing can depend on board for 3 days or metal for 3 days. And no sir. If me sneeze, my sneeze I go stay upon something for 3 days. That not gone a long time. Well, me believe them. Me believe it. Say if somebody sneeze and have the virus and you go touch it, there you go. If somebody have it and you hug them up, me feel say you get it. Me don't know about you, but me feel say you get it. Yeah, man. And you know further, me say that all the while, you know. And people laugh, you know, but me serious when me say it. You see, years from now, let me go spread disease in a ways where you'll never believe them can spread it. You see that thing that we have in your pocket named cell phone? Cell phone. You see like how man trigger bomb with cell phone, just have a certain number in the phone. We're connected to the bomb, and when you dial a number, boom, the thing explode. Me figure say, look down the line, they must send, just like how they make 3-dimensional printer. Who would have known that you could have a 3-dimensional printer that assemble a gun Yes, it's true me attack. Them have it. 3-dimensional printer, assembly gun. You get the parts them out of the printer and it come 3-dimensional. When you print it out, you put the parts them together, you have a gun. Who didn't know so that could possible? And maybe I'll know me and talk about it, people I say, Muta, where you get them things there from? Maybe down the line, your man look at you get cancer. It's a terrible thing. so a radioactive thing. I mean, these people is capable of anything. Things where your mind can't even figure out. Because I see that thing on your cell phone. How the hell the cell phone? You ask the cell phone a question and it answer you. You type in a question and a thing and it answer you. How the hell that work? But there's a logical explanation of how it works. A logical explanation, a little spirit thing, a logical explanation. You don't have to be no oracle. You don't have to be no soothsayer. You don't have to be no prophet or seer. It's a logical explanation how these things work. And man in his devious mind will use what him not only discover but create to do devious things against other people and other men and women and children too and their business. And the weirdest thing is that the near right is to you is the more it pain you. Can look there now. Two news lick me today. 2 news. One of the corona victim them. One of the corona people in Jamaica dead. One, you know. Okay. Me don't know the person. Me don't know the man. Him say about 79-year-old. Come from Clarendon or somewhere there. Me don't know him. But the way me feel about it. That's a right today. And guess what? Cross way over the other world now. 300 people dead, you know. Today, 300 people dead. And me not feel like how me feel about the one man who dead in Jamaica. Why? How that possible? How that possible? How that possible that you can't hear a plane crash and kill 200 people in a plane crash? And all you can say is, rotted. You mean say 200 people died in a plane crash? The next scenario is that make one of your family in there, just one person where you know, or one of your family member in that plane crash, and see the feelings where you have for just that one person. And we know why you feel that way there. For everyone, whether them is near to we or whether them far from we. We know why you feel that feeling there. Which is that should have be our humanness, if there's such a word. Like humanity the way we are all human beings according to what them say. But we don't behave as such according to how we feel human beings supposed to behave. Because sometimes you look on all the dog them, and sometimes you look on the bird them, and you wonder, wow, look how that work out. You look on all the ants them, look at things them like ants, how them move a crumbs of bread from one place to the next. One little crumbs of bread you drop on the ground. And little more you see some ants there. I lift up the bread and I move it in unity. In unity. And them are ants. We no business about them. We spray them as we want. We take something and crush them as we want. But the ants move the bread where is how much time bigger than him. Him know say him one can't move it, so he'll get a group of ones to move it. Because the whole of them can go around a little corner where human beings now go see them and eat the bread. Where the human being don't want But if the ants them for come eat it, him go and kill the ants them. Him go and kill the ants them. And all the ants come for his bread. The ants never come for kill him. The ants never come for create no problem. The ants just want to move the crumbs where they're on the table for going to a little spot where the whole of them can enjoy the piece of bread. Human beings not steal away there. But we wire up for that, you know. Yeah, man, we get wired up for that. But instead of we say that, we don't know, we are creating things. We're creating things. And the things them almost is showing like intelligence. Oh, the hell these things where man are create that show intelligence. Because the amount of questions when me see my phone answer, me couldn't answer them questions. As a matter of fact, I look to my phone now like a schoolroom. Yes. When me have my phone in my hand, it's like a schoolroom because there's nothing that you can ask this thing. This thing. It don't have no flesh and it don't have no blood, it don't have no spirit. But this thing, anything where the human being asks it, it answer them. Anything. As a matter of fact, it only answer you, but it gives you a diverse of answers that you can choose from which one you want to choose from. Different answers. Tell me something. What is the build-up of corn? You know, like, yeah. What's the best way to plant orange? What was the most important thing that happened in 1914? You know, who was Hitler? When did he die? All these things. I want to find out Jeremiah 23 verse this, that. You ask it anything. And this man make it. Scientists make it. It's unbelievable. And them going, if them do have it already, them going to find a cure for that thing here, this thing here. Them going to find it. Not going to be available for us, but them going to find it. Maybe the next country now, if monopolize it, they make it mandatory, like how we see them do with other vaccines, make it mandatory for people. As a matter of fact, them do test some of them. Because the time when them tell you say it's going to have, it never even they round them time there. For them know what will happen if you take it. But in the quest for life and the maintenance of life, you will do it. Because that is where them get to control now and manipulate the whole thing. Your need to live outweigh your need to be sick. Because it's not that you're going, you must sick. You must dead because you're sick. As you heard the daughter say a while ago. Not because you're sick, you're going to go dead. But by the time them don't show you it, say, look here, anyhow you're sick, you're going to dead. And nothing goes on. And even though you see it in front of you, even though the statistics show you say, most of the people them who get sick, don't dead. But what? A little thing in front of you, I say, yes, me know that. In your head, something I tell you, say, yeah, me see, say, the statistics are showing me, say, most of the people them who sick don't dead. But you have someone dead and me could have been the one. Me could have been the one. It's a weird thing. It's weird. It's strange. Because we are going and say, look at all. Why, and everybody dead, we get it, you know. As a matter of fact, most people who get it, not dead. But there's some little, something in you I say, I wonder if you go and be the one of the minority that die. And that make you get panic. that make you start to panic, that make you start to feel insecure and not sure. So we have to build up that resistance against fear, the fear factor. But the greatest fear is fear itself. The greatest fear is fear itself, you know, because fear is a mystery, you know. I mean, not the fear is the mystery itself, but what caused the fear is not necessarily physical. What caused the fear is not necessarily happening. What caused the fear is not necessarily what the statistics show. So how is it that we have that? Because the minority that die have more power over our consciousness and our mind. We have more power over our mind than the ones who survive. Because if you are swim, not even if you are swim, if you in a boat with say 4 people and you use one of the 4 and the boat turn over, you a check say everybody will survive. You a check say you might not survive. You don't check say everybody will survive. You check say you might not survive. So you're going to find every possible way to survive. Because sometimes the fear build up your immune system and most of the time it break it down. Or I say build up your immune system now, man. Means, you know, you ever hear them say, when you're in a problem, picnic should fit you. Yes. Sometimes somebody will run you down and you see a wall and you never in the world dream say you could have go over the wall there. And you find how quick you run over the wall, especially if a man run you down. Because I remember when we used to sit down on corner and as we see a Jeep, because we know Jeep stay. We sit on a Woodford Park, Bonnier Lane, up at the top of Bonnier Lane, up at Hope Street. We see a Jeep come round, right to Woodford Street. And when we see the Jeep, all the way under the street light, because we just under the street light as youth attack. Because them days are not gun on the boat more than so, because we don't know nothing about no gun. A party we attack about. And as we see the Jeep, it's like everybody in them yard do homework. Yeah. It's like everybody in them yard do homework. You never know, say, 6, 7 years we did sit down underneath the street light. When we see the Jeep, police are come. Because we know them stay. Boy, I went out up on the roadside and start to angle a certain way. Remember some soldier, me and my brethren, run in front of a Jeep, go right down a Duppy Gate. For those of you who know which part of Duppy Gate there, right down Harman Barracks, bottom there, so, where my child used to there. We have pick mango up at the top. And we say, boy, where you up on the tree? Come out of the tree. And when them come out of the tree, the man make way, stand up in front of the Jeep, and the man a drive slowly go down to Duppy Gate. The 2 of we have to run because we heel back. It's a stake. So may I say, the art of fear, the greatest thing about fear and the worst thing about fear is fear itself. Fear of the unknown. And sometimes even when you know, you still hold on upon the something that is the worst part of the fear, because it's fear. Fear not have no good part. So even though you hear, say, out of 100 people we have the coronavirus, 80 people survive. Yeah, that's sinking in your head, but guess what? So you say, oh, so 1 to the other 20, them dead. And when you hear to the 20 dead, your mind is more on the 20, not on the 80 that go. Because that is where the fear carry you to. The fear you carry to the darkest corner, the deepest part of your agony. This is the cutting edge on IRFM. Yeah, this is the cutting edge on IRFM. They are with you in this new dispensation. New dispensation. Listen.
Them, they got nose with the virus and 30 of them in a guarantee. Man, me I tell you, say, Miss Ivan, me not go near outer road. Me, if you see me not walk on road, Miss Ivan. Say, when me I go up a yard, that you come on me, I go master me no one they go put me in no warranty, mama. But boy, it's something, it's terrible, Miss Evans. It's terrible, bad. But me don't know where they get this virus from. Eh? A dagger knows all, everybody have this virus.
Mommy, a diagnose and a dagger knows is diagnosed.
Eh?
Yeah, so we are going through the places, we are talking about fear as it relates to where we are going on the island, you know, and the world. You know, we have something in common now with the world. A serious thing. All the way, there's one commonality that binds the world right now. One commonality. Can you imagine that? Can you believe that? No care how powerful you is, and no care how weak you is, you are all susceptible. We are all susceptible to this one commonality. Wow. We have to search ourselves, search and find something in ourselves that say, how this can galvanize so much nations. And it's something where liable to bring forth destruction, not only upon a physical level for human being, but political, economical, social, and all the different levels where human participate in. Where human being participate in. All the different levels of what human participate in is affected by this one thing. So and this thing is not good for the things them that human participate in. So how come we can't find something that is good for what we participate in? That one thing. And we have a whole heap of one thing about the place too. We have a whole heap of one thing about the place. But every man I look on it on another level, a different level, can unified into something that because of your environment and because of how you were brought up, you see different from the next person. Because you was born in Papua New Guinea, or amongst the Amerindians, or amongst the Native Americans, or amongst the Bush people. You see different. You see different. Your environment don't allow you the oneness of humanity. The environment that you live in don't allow you that. Because some of us will do things in the name of, and in the name of that thing that is in our environment, when the other man over the other side of the world will do things for what him perceive or think this thing to be on the other side of the world. So we will fight each other continuously. because of interpretation of our environment. Because of interpretation of our environment. Most of the men them who brought Africans here and make them turn into slaves were Christians. Yes. World War I, World War II was fought between Europeans and Europeans. Bloody war. Millions of people died in those wars. Millions. World War I, World War II. Millions of people died because the tribes of Europe was fighting against the tribes of Europe. We have never had wars like that in other continents. When we say war, we are talking about war. War without outside influence. As a matter of fact, I can say, without any apology, that most of the wars that has been fought in Africa, where tribes fighting tribes, was instigated by outside forces. Think on all the bloodletting that take place in Africa. Most of it was influenced by outside forces. Think on the world war them that take place in the world. World war, I'm not talking about, well, world war don't include, well, is them designated world war, but not the whole world was involved in it. It's the tribes of Europe fighting the tribes of Europe. Because there's many tribes in Europe, but them don't call them tribe. Them call them nation because it's so organized and structured. You know, you have some men way up in the Caucasus Mountains. Savages who come down through certain areas and kill other men. Sometimes eat them too. But that's the next story for next time. And we remember the Black Plague, that so-called Black Plague that devastated Europe because of the plague. That plague was because of hygienic deficits. I mean, like, the place was not clean. And rats infest the whole place, right across Europe. And people who died because of the infestation. You have other people died because people believe, say, one set of people caused it because they were heathens and pagans. They wasn't worshiping the one and only true God. And it is said that it's them bring that plague upon the land. So they did have to kill those people too. So apart from the plague killing them turn against each other. Yes. Because nowadays you walk in Jamaica, people used to just sneeze, whether you put your hand over your mouth or not. Which you're supposed to put your hand over your mouth when you sneeze. Or your nose, sorry. And you must put your hand over your mouth when you're coughing. But you hardly see somebody walk on the street and cough and put them hand over their mouth. You hardly see a person walk on the road and sneeze and put them hand over them nose. But sneezing and cough, sometimes you walk in a certain areas where pollution run rampant. You pass certain store and some things in there, some detergent in there and some this and that in there. You pass certain place where them have fixed car and certain things there. And you sneeze because it tickle your nose. Yeah, man. Sometimes pollens in the air make you sneeze and tickle your nose. We reach in a Jamaica now since the year start, where anybody will sneeze, it's suspected of having coronavirus. And if you're in a situation where you have people there, and you go sneeze, for instance, in a bus, you're liable to be thrown out of the bus headway. So sneeze is not something, not a privilege again. You don't have the privilege to sneeze again. If something tickles your nose, you better put your hand to prevent the sneeze. I'll tell you how to prevent a sneeze. Put your finger across your two, the hole them in your nose. Just put your finger across it. And you will hold it up a little. But you are not allowed to sneeze anymore in Jamaica unless you are tried and convicted right on the spot for having a disease that has caused devastation in the minds and the heart and the physical appearance of the people them. Woe unto those who sneeze because of chemicals in the ear or pollens in the ear. Woe unto you who sneeze. You shall be wasted. And that's over there. And that's over there in Jamaica. You cannot eat your food and something itching at your throat and you start to cough. You want some water quick. Nobody will give you no water. Because the first cough demonize you. The first cough demonize you. Them box lunch over people I eat. Sometimes some people I eat some box lunch and all of a sudden I see them turn them head and a cough. Because something like the food, either some liquor, maybe it's all a rice grain. Yeah, maybe it's all a rice grain itch up in them throat. And them start to cough. You don't have the privilege of doing that again in Jamaica. Woe unto that person who allow a rice grain to itch in him throat and make him cough. Because the people them around you. You might be stoned to death. You might be stoned to death because you cough, because a little rice grain itch up in your throat. And make sure you're not coming down with something that is not the coronavirus, but appears to be the coronavirus. And you cannot help yourself. But you have to cough. No matter whether you hold your hand over your mouth or not. Jamaican people reach a stage now where them not going to take that. Them don't care. You could have put if all them things where them are wear around them face. Where see people are wearing them masks, where people are wearing them face now. Even if you have all that and you don't have no sickness, but something tickle your throat and you have to cough, and you cough in that mask where everybody put around their mouth, you are demonized. You're liable to be stabbed or thrown out a bus, or people turn up on you because you sit up at the bus stop and start to cough. And that's right there. Fear. Fear, man. Fear. This is the cutting edge. Yes, cutting edge. RFM, listen.
I tell him I don't want to get a call, but I'm afraid. Trust me, I'm afraid. Because a brother get a call and thing and he catch it in the coronavirus, you understand? So it's serious, because me even say, our next brother go up on a person status and them things there. You see me, and I look on the things them when put up and him catch it. You understand? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. A man I watch a music video and him catch it in our ears and all them things there. So it's serious. Very serious. Me can't even call you. You understand? So even when you get that message, your brother, just listen it, don't call me back. You understand? Don't voice note me back again till we say the problem solved and thing. You understand? So don't call back my phone, no text me. You get me? till we hear further due from the corona, because it's a chance for. So even before you listen it, arm yourself, yeah, man. Detox yourself, yeah, sir, because many even want you catch it, so you make sure you cover yourself, protect yourself before you listen to this, you understand? Put in some ears muffin and all them sitting there, you understand? And titleize your honor and thing before you even touch your phone and all them thing there, because it a come in a phone. So don't voice note me back until, you know, the corona thing solve, yeah, man. So don't call me back, don't text, yeah, man. Respect.
I tell you, and it's right there. I joke still, but the amount of things what people have to say and the amount of skits, the Jamaican people funny do it, I tell you, Jamaican people funny rasta. I mean, we're terribly still, you know, but you know, there's a silver line behind everyone in the dark cloud, they're funny. Okay, so I will say listen to the people them, because we know say them know something we don't know all the while. Listen carefully. Make we start it over. Here we go.
Another area of concern. So we have treated markets, supermarkets, corner shops and pharmacies as essential for the continuation of life. They will remain open, but for corner shops in particular, we ask that they respect the restriction, no gathering of more than 20, and if you have 20 persons, maintain the social distance. And in fact, we encourage, don't have that kind of gathering. In supermarkets, it might be easier to maintain social distance. In the markets will be subject to a special condition. Markets will be open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we ask the market vendors and the higglers to pay close attention to the requirements of social distancing. So stretch if you have to give the yam and the banana and so forth. Put it in the bag first and then hand the bag. You know, practice the hand sanitization regime. Have on hand your tissue or hand wipes. So we have to practice the sanitation regime in the markets. We don't want to close the markets. But if things progress to a point where it becomes necessary, then we will. But we are trying to put in place the measures, bearing in mind that it is not the intention of the government to shut down the economy. We have to keep the economy going. So we are not shutting down operations. And to be clear, we're not shutting down the operations. What we are trying to do is to institute the measures that we believe will inure to greater practice of social distancing, which is what is now being recommended as the most effective way of controlling the spread of COVID-19. Remember now, these measures are promulgated for 7 days. We will review after 5, and the 7 days would be effective on the 18th, that is Wednesday. So the 7 days starts Wednesday. We will promulgate 5 days after, we will review rather 5 days after, and make a determination whether or not we need to escalate or continue. It is unlikely that, based upon how I'm seeing it, that we would discontinue, but we would determine whether or not we should escalate to other measures.
Yes. So we're all hearing these things, you know, what the people them don't go on like say them are idiot. You know, because all of them things that we used to do them long time, you know. Yeah, man, we used to do them long time, man. But because of our lives here, so now everybody get You understand? Different, but, you know, sometimes them say you have to go back to the old ways. You know, people must know how to build wood fire. Even though you not use wood fire, but then warm to when you not have a fire, not stove. Warm to when gas done. Just like now. Certain things you have to go back but do now because of where going so now. You know, warm to the food where we should have plant. We should have plant no food. Warm to the land where we should have get. You know, the black people in America was offered 40 acres and a mule. 40 acres reparations in at the time after slavery. 40 acres and a mule. Them never get it. Want to the land them where they bought the place. Why everybody in Jamaica don't have no land? And we see so much land all over the place. 1 cow, 2 cow, they pan a couple of acres of land well. What the hell are you dealing with? And now we have a ball about food now. Man, I go lock him shop now. The China man, I go lock him shop because I'm not have nothing to sell. How long you think say this can go on so now? How long you think it will go on? Right now, we not feel nothing yet. You know, once somebody dead. Shops still have things tonight. Supermarkets still have things tonight. Come here, people on the radio ball already about the martial law where them create on a 7 mile or so. Martial law for the people them. I am totally in agreement with it. But if you do it, you must have certain things in place before you do it that the people them can know what to do. You can't just leave the people them so that they might find illegal ways to come out of the martial law area. Illegal methods. That if them get caught, them can be arrested. Like my brethren who come through the airport, how the hell them come through the airport and them not write down where I come from. And them see all the thing I go. And then I cost the people them at the airport. I don't understand that, brethren. How you have to do that? How you have to do that? You come through the airport and them give you a farm for full up. And it say, you must put where you come from and where you go in the past 6 weeks. Why you don't want to put where you come from at the moment and when them a question you, you tell the people them all sorts of things like, are you own the airport? Man, it don't work that way there. Sometimes you have to follow the law. Sometimes. And if you're going to America, you're not going to go on so. You're not going so. Me a mark that down. Say anyhow you that enter Germany, England, France, Belgium, Holland, Switzerland and all them places. And you go through an airport. Or you go on in a Jamaican airport, you're not going so in a foreign airport. So why you feel say you should have angle and go on so? When you know where to do. And you're that tour, you travel all the while. A joke business. I have no sympathy for them things there. Joke thing. And me talk about the people them out of wait name there so now. The government. The government martial law of the place. I mean, it is good to do it because you try don't make the thing spread. That is the terrible part. See it because I cough a while ago. That's a life right on my throat. That looking thing on me one in there. Oh, maybe laugh nobody that road. Then the same thing can come out of my mouth. If you hear that crowd and you laugh, nobody not going to run for you, you know. But if you cough, somebody going to run for you. You laugh and can bring out the spickles them out of your mouth too. Yeah, man. But the weirdest part, right, is that you organize this thing for the people, them. And it's a good thing, because the first person who get this virus here, a 5 person already have it. Not to mention who them not find yet. Because I say 200 odd people, them are look for in Kingston alone. Not necessarily because of she, but you have others who have it. 13 to be exact. And them are look for 200 odd people in Kingston. Almost about, them are look for about 17 in Clarendon who would come in contact with certain people. But if you go quarantine half the place and you have hundreds of people in that area there, you know, quarantine and then go check. You quarantine no one. You have to hustle up some people them for go get little food, little sugar, little rice, little thing, little that and all them something there. And then now through the people them can't come out, they might find other ways how to come out. I mean I tell you now how the people them come out. I mean I tell you how the people them come out because we don't want them starve because of Uno. Yeah, but we'll carry things down there. Yeah, of course we'll carry things down there, but the place is big and there's enough people. How much things we have so? Forget the people them. I have to figure it out, you know. I have to figure it out because you save the people them from virus. Yet still you give them a next virus, which is starvation and thirst. Them need water to wash them on and all them something there. Them need water to wash them on. And you tell them to go wash them on regular, you know. So them can't wash them on the same water where they like cowboy. So cowboy just reach our ass thing and them just go in a manger like and them just wash him face in the water, the same water drop down back in the basement where wash him face, you know. The people them going to find other metals to leave the area. There's a lot of porous places in a 7 mile and 8 mile where you can't just show. Them things are there so we're going to walk. No, sir, we just go through this and go around this. So. That's how it go. So, I hope them can fix it for the people them. I hope them can fix it for the people them. Them need to fix it for the people them. Because the people them don't want to catch it. But them yet still them don't want to know so well, boy, right now, because you set up a situation for them don't catch it. Them worse off now than if them did not catch it. But most of the time, them maybe never did catch it anyway. You know, it's them thing there. It's a terrible thing. Very terrible thing. So we are telling people them still, listen. 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 We just played something a while ago. We'll play them over and over and over. Including the first one we will play it over and over and over. As long as this thing are going, you will hear them regular. And you have to listen. Very important that you listen. Okay, here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Professor Hope. How are you this lovely morning?
Professor Hope, I tell you. You know, him gone outside.
It's what?
Him gone outside, you know.
He's gone outside. He's unavailable at the moment.
Yeah.
Musa?
What you doing up so late?
Very long, you see?
What you doing up so late?
No, well, you see, I had to stay up to talk to you today, right?
Okay.
Even though I have classes first thing in the morning. So now, I'm an educator, right? So I do at-home tutoring like after 2:30. But with all the children at home now, everybody wants me to come in the morning.
Okay.
So, but my first class is at 10:30. So, you know, if I get some sleep from 2 to about 6, I'll be good. Right? So last night, right, Muta, I'm in my grandfather's study. I don't remember what I was searching for, but I come across this Jamaica Journal. Marcus Garvey Centenary, 1887 to 1987. It says the 20th year, 1967 to 1987. So I flip the page, and I'm just going to read the first 2 paragraphs, right?
Okay.
The Spirit of Garvey, Lessons of the Legacy, by Rex Nettleford. 100 years after his birth and nearly 50 years after his death, the spirit of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, visionary freedom fighter, and one of Jamaica's greatest thinkers lives on. It is significant that of all the heroes iconized by a politically insecure people grateful for their independence out of some 3 centuries of struggle, Marcus Garvey remains the most popular among the mass of the population. No surprise, really, since the issues he addressed persist with a vengeance, calling a dispossessed and groping people, if not to armed struggle, to exercise of imagination and intellect as the route to freedom and self-determination. Among the heirs of Garvey are the popular poets of utterance, the Bob Marleys, Jimmy Cliffs, Peter Toshes, and Mutabarukas, thrown up by a generation of Jamaicans who find in the tangible emblems of political sovereignty no real solution to their people's continuing degradation, which is a result of Western civilization's unrelenting efforts to humiliate Africa and all that springs therefrom. And I read that and I was like, wow, 1987, Muta gone good, man.
A long time ago, you know. A long time ago, man.
Say it about a long time, Muta.
Yeah, I know some young still, but a long time ago.
No, we know you're young. You know, young is a state of mind. But, you know, I was like, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and it was just, it was inspirational because, of course, you know, you're reading about Marcus Garvey and then you hear about Muta, and Muta is still alive, very much on radio, you know, educating the people. And, you know, it just moved me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's nice to hear.
Because your program has given us such a, like, hope. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's funny that that's your actual last name.
Ironically,
you know?
my father's name was Hope, and I am Hope Jr.
Yeah, oh, Junior too.
Yeah, Hope Jr.
You know, and it's inspirational, Muta.
Yeah,
you know, and just many things. You know, like even talking with my husband. So now I walk barefoot around the house more often. You know, and that has to do with like the grounding because I always got the flu. You know what I mean? And now I get it less often.
Oh, yeah.
You know. And he'd always say, I just call Muta and ask him about it. Him can tell you about it, you know. You know, and just many things, you know. But there was really one thing. I don't want to take up too much of the time because, you know, I know plenty of people calling and stuff.
No, but he's one of the plenty people, so I don't know.
What's that?
You are one of the plenty people, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
You know,
But I'm at a kind of crossroads where, you know, yeah, I would say I somewhat grew up in the church, and programs like, you know, Religious Hard Talk. This one specific episode really got me going. And the gentleman said he was quoting something from Leviticus, and he says, if it doesn't have scales and fins, you are not supposed to eat it. I said, but what is this man talking about? All you ever hear about is pork. So I drew from my Bible, and it was very much there. And I said, but something don't seem right to me. Like, and it just so happened at that same time, I ran into an elder, and he said to me, well, if you read a chapter a day, you'll finish in 4 years. And I said, I don't want to be reading the Bible for 4 years. So what I did was I said, all right, I want to read 4 chapters a day, so then I'll finish in a year.
Yeah.
So then my husband has a Catholic Bible that has
Maccabees and
in the Apocrypha.
The Apocrypha. Yeah.
And so what I did was I put it in my King James part in order.
Yeah.
So when I reached that part, I would have just gone to I just went to that Bible to read it.
Yeah.
So that I was reading in order, right?
Yeah.
And then, Muta, I can honestly say, after finishing the Old Testament and finishing with the Maccabees, I had a different feel. You know, like you know, here comes this man wanting them to change the laws that were set to eat the pork. I just said, no, I should watch our whole family. They kill the whole our family.
It's 7 of them.
No, it brought. I felt like it brought out that Paul Bogle spirit in me. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I read the New Testament just for reading it. You know what I mean? To get an understanding of of what it was.
Yeah.
And then from there, you then start to ask a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, questions that are not really too well liked then. You know what I mean?
It's question where children ask too, you know. I would have them questions where children will ask, you know.
Yes.
Big people
and
can't
I
answer
had
it.
that problem growing up as a child because, you know, I lived at home I had grandma and grandpa with mommy and daddy, you know, and you go to church and, you know, grandma made sure that I was confirmed and I was a question asker. And, you know, sometimes that's really frowned upon in our society, but that's how I was brought up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit there and, you know, not know and want to know and not ask.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you read, but then my question is, well, okay, so I know we were kings and queens before slavery. So our blackness doesn't really start with slavery, even though that is what is, you know, that's all that's ever spoken about.
Yeah.
But what did my ancestors, like what was their worshipping pattern?
Yes.
And that's now where I thought of you, that where you could like point me to, you know, some books,
yes,
you know,
to check them out,
to enlighten me more.
Yes, yeah.
On what we were doing, you know, before, you know, because I feel Jesus doesn't really resonate with me.
Yeah.
You know, and my issue is, Muta, I am black, and this is a white man. And things just don't add up for me.
Yeah.
So I believe in a creator, the Most High, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
And I want to know who my ancestors down in Africa were worshipping before that whole slavery, you know, that whole slavery happened.
The original.
What were they doing?
Yeah.
Because I think for me at least, it's important.
Well, there is so much in the computer we have and now that it's not hard again to find it, to find out what the question that you asked. I was just talking, I don't know if you was listening, that this little rectangular thing in our pocket there, it's amazing that it can answer any question you want to ask it.
Oh, yes, I heard you. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
Man.
All when you don't even type in the question and then you see it pop up.
And it suggests, hey, watch out, man, it's weird because Netflix, I don't know, them you watch one thing and them show you say, okay, and them call your name and say, this is what them suggesting you to watch next because it is a similar one like what you just watched before. I say,
like they've analyzed you.
Yeah,
you know,
like somebody like your house attack.
You would like.
Yeah. So it is, first time you used to have to go buy a whole heap of book. But now you have one little rectangular thing in your pocket, you know, where can refer you to all the books them that you ever thought that you wanted to. Even the things them where when we used to sell book, all of them books, you know, some of them you can find them in audio books where you can hear the art actually. I say what I say.
Right.
You know, so it would be nice if you could do that.
And Muta, that's great, but I can be totally honest here that I find it very difficult to process information on a tablet or a computer.
Okay.
I prefer to have the book
physical
in my hand.
book. No e-book for you, eh?
No. My mom has bought me a Kindle, and I do not use my Kindle for no book basis.
Okay.
Because I just can't wrap my head around it. I have the physical book. You know what I mean? Like my mind strays with the computer. You know what I mean? So I am, you know, things have evolved. So you go on Amazon and you can buy a used book.
You can buy the book then.
Good condition, and it costs like $2 and the book come and, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's a good way.
You know?
That's another good way.
What's that?
I said that's another good way. Go find them on Amazon.
Yes. So no, I just wanted, like, I know there's because we're in the time of information, nothing is really too much hidden now, just like like maybe 2 or 3 books that I could start off with.
Well, you should read the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Since we was talking about Marcus Garvey a while ago,
right,
and he's one of the most popular of the heroes, them. Maybe we should start with the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, which was compiled by Amy Jakes Garvey, which was his second wife.
The second wife, right?
Yeah, so,
right.
And I think that's easy to get now.
Yeah, no, that's easy to get. But what I more want, like, I just want to know more about, like, the spirituality of what
I know, but I was saying that, because Marcus Garvey book is a very spiritual book too.
Yes.
It's in it him say we must worship God through our own spectacles.
Right.
In that same book. But you have books by Ben Buchanan can lead you to what we call it, where we don't want chemetic ways, or ISIS, or
Ben Buchanan.
Ben Buchanan.
Okay.
Joseph Ben Buchanan in name.
No, you can spell the last name for me?
Buchanan, why I don't know spelling it as Buchanan. I don't know how to spell it.
Oh, is Buchanan or Buchanan?
I think it's Y. Y-O.
Buchanan. All right.
Buchanan.
I will Google it.
Yes.
And his first name is Ben.
Yeah, he has a lot of books that Black Man of the Nile. You can. It means the authority.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it means the authority. So if we can.
That's why I knew I'd have to call you.
Yeah.
You're
a book named Black Man of the Nile.
Okay.
Are we the Black Jews?
Okay.
It's the art of those books, and it's really a serious study on Kemetic, what them call Egyptian mystery systems.
I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, the mystery systems of Egypt, Kemet, we used to call it, and Ethiopia, those kind of things. So, yeah, you can check them out.
Yes.
All right, we have to move.
What's that, Muto? I didn't hear you.
We have to move.
Oh, yeah, man. All right, well, give thanks, Muto.
Yeah.
And have a blessed day.
Yeah, man, you too. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, greetings.
Yeah, man, hi there.
All right. Yeah, the national colors interpretation, it says hardships there are, yet the sun shineth and the land is green. So, really I'll check out now, how is it that this government is not using up solar energy to assist the schools in powering their system, seeing as those schools have to use over computers and AC to make sure that the computers keep cool. And most schools have bills of over $1 million every month. And because of that, parents have to pay school fees and schools can't buy equipment for the children. So we want some answers from the government. So we're looking at this forum to assist with that,
Well, I hope them are listening and them will answer you,
Yeah, because when I check it out, in 2017 put in a $14 million system and cut down a $4 million monthly bill by 30%, and they're trying to get $25 million, and government have a problem to give them that. And at the same time, we find out that $68 million are used up for NEDs, $55 million for Parliament building, and 109, that's US dollars we just quote a while ago. And then $190 million for SUV Jamaican for ministers, and all the child bill alone for 1 year is $8.4 million.
Okay.
And even with this coronavirus going around, what if the country locked down for another 6 months? Where are we going to get money to buy electricity, buy oil for electricity?
Well, them not put some money there. You hear them say them put some money to deal with it, to deal with certain things.
Again?
I'm saying that they say that they have how much $1 billion put away to deal with certain things in case of emergency.
Yes, we understand that they're putting away some $10 million, $10 billion rather.
Billion,
yeah. But would I like to see them put some of it towards this electricity problem that we have in this country now. And at the same time, the rollout at the conference 2 weeks ago, it seems as if government want to put this solar program into the hands of private sector and foreigners. You know, when we can easily buy the solar panels and use them. Grand Palladium put in a 3.4 million solar system and cut down their bill to zero, coming from 730,000 US a year. You know, and Minister Paul was there and knew about this. You know, so when you look at it, we see where the solar necessary, the sun shine it, and we need to use it up. Can burn fossil fuel, and that's not so clean for the environment. You get the gist, Motor?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened at Holy Trinity too.
Well, I hope, as I say, I hope them are listening.
Then Minister of Education, I know all of these things.
Well, since you are saying something to them, I hope them hear, you know, because I can't know about it. So I hope them hear.
Well, give thanks that you're able to hear it on the program here now, and maybe you could do some investigation and talk some more about it. You know, when you know for yourself, say, yes, this is true that I'm saying. You understand?
So, I never say, I don't say nothing about what you say. I don't disbelieve you.
Huh?
I don't disbelieve you. You sound like you know what you say.
Yes, man. We know what we're saying, you know.
Yeah.
Because we're involved in the political arena as well, you know.
Okay. Which party you belong to?
Yeah.
Which party you belong to?
From down in Westmoreland, man.
Which
part of the UIC program. You know,
oh, independent. Yeah, independent.
I'm a candidate independently. So
yeah, okay.
Still independent.
Okay.
And this is the policy that the UIC has come up with. You know about the UIC? United Independent Congress.
You're on a campaign. I've heard about campaign. Eh?
I'm saying if you know about the UIC.
Yeah, I say yes. I've heard on the campaigning.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You know, so these are the things we're highlighting, you know.
Yeah, all right,
to begin
sir.
with. All right?
I will let me tell you something now. It's when you call a radio station, you have to turn off your radio, yeah?
Yes, man. What happened is that I was too close to it.
No, but you're still close to it because I still hear it. And it will come through the mic. I still hear it. All right, give thanks.
All right, respect, sir.
Yeah, give thanks. Yes. Okay, where were they? We did that this thing, I know. I could do it again. Yeah. Martimer.
I'm not afraid to admit it, girl, I don't know what's come over me. I've made my plan and you're in it, girl.
Martin coming through, yes, EL. Yeah, let's say. Yes, Mandingo.
Yes, I want to say, I never allow coronavirus say, me never enjoy my birthday yesterday, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
March,
Happy birthday yesterday, all right. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, man, and my daughter won today, the 19th of March, and my son, the 24th next week. And
March,
so,
right,
and yesterday was also Keith Hudson, the great producer, birthday too.
Okay.
As well as Tony Green, we play tenor saxophone. I know you know Tony Green.
A long time I don't hear about him. I must have gone to Florida to live forever, man.
Yes, and you remember great psychologists that talk about her more time. And Dr. Frances Cresswell-Sin.
Yeah.
She was born the 18th of March too. So we remember her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yes. And because of the whole coronavirus thing, for example, the Jamaican High Commission here in London, South Kensington, the visa and consular section is closed for this week. From Monday the 16th to Friday the 20th, it's closed, you know.
But most of the ones that will get detected already in Jamaica. No England, them, man.
Yes, but I'm saying for people here who normally would go into the
Everything closed still.
Yes,
because
we
American
had that
embassy
situation there with the sister who went out by 7 miles, Bull Bay. That was the first recorded case.
Yeah, and she infected 5 others.
So on, you know. But you know, Muta and other listeners, so I check this coronavirus thing, you know. One of the effects of it is that it has checked and messed up the growing economic power and dominance of China. And we know that Trump and the other Europeans, them glad about that.
Yeah, your Trump says a Chinese disease.
Yes, and when them say being racist, him say only being factual because it's China, it is,
it's
you
not
know.
racist,
But,
it's not racist.
you know, we know the patent thing, labbing the states and that type of thing, and of course the Chinese saying that is the USA regime who planted there, but a definite effect of it is to check the growing economic power of China worldwide.
The Russians and Iranian them say is America doing it.
Yes, also with the Chinese, because you know the Chinese as the people who manufacturing the most and selling worldwide was becoming too powerful for the US regime and the other European entities and so on. And another effect of it too, you notice that the prices of everything gone up because of this coronavirus thing, you know. So it's only the 1% richer getting richer and richer.
Well, they might have it now too, still they might have it too.
Yes, but one of the things about it is that they're making a lot of money with that, and then with the plan to do vaccines business, vaccination, you know, that is a thing to make money by the owners of the pharmaceutical companies also. You know, the kind of thing where business and thing pushing, you know. So this thing, we have to watch this thing, we have to be careful and take the necessary precautions and so on where coronavirus is concerned. But to panic is no solution. We have to adopt sensible measures. And one of the things that unscrupulous politicians do is that them use people in a state of panic to push through laws that normally them wouldn't be able to push through too.
But
yes,
see, right now,
by Boris Johnson here, wanting to push through Parliament, you know, to have a thing whereby British soldiers and so on who are guilty of war crimes and atrocities that they are not tried.
Oh yeah.
While people being distracted by this coronavirus thing.
Okay.
You know, them pushing through them other agendas. So we have to check these things, you know what I mean?
You mean the soldier them were there in Iraq? The soldier were there in Iraq and them something there? You talk about the soldier them were there in Iraq too?
Yes. And other places too. And remember things all in Afghanistan.
Wow.
And what did happen in Ireland also, because the case with in Ireland, you know, in the fights there and that type of situation. Because them use unfortunate situations to push through them agenda, you know, unscrupulous politicians, you know, for real. And it is ironic that you were talking with the sister about Dr. Joseph Ben Yochanan.
Yeah.
Because he passed away on the 19th of March 2015. Yes. And the name spelling with him is YOSEF. Ben, as we know, then Yochanan is JOCHANNAN. Yeah, man. So, you know, you used to sell a lot of them.
Yeah, man, we introduced Ben Yochanan to Jamaica, man. With them book them, we introduced Ben Yochanan to Jamaica. I reference bring him down 2 times.
Me and some bringing him to Trinidad in the late 70s when he talk at St. Augustine campus and thing, man. That's when I first met him there, Dr. Ben, man. Great African man, you know. Liberating the mind and so on, you know. And so.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man.
So we have to keep, so we must not allow that unscrupulous and racist people use this coronavirus thing to make us take our eyes off the ball of other things where them trying to put you to, you know what I mean? And I applaud the measures being taken in Jamaica to protect our people in Jamaica and wherever we are, because we have to do that also. But at the same time, measures must be put in place to deal with the food security and otherwise of people in Jamaica.
And the water.
Which of course you have said before, you know. And
the water part is a terrible
you know what I
part.
mean?
You see them a lack of water at night time in a sun here, even which part me live. And them a tell you, you must wash your hand properly. How the hell you cannot wash your hand properly and them a lack of the water too? I mean, what kind of madness?
Exactly. That is totally ridiculous. Yes, you can watch, you know, and hygiene is very, very important. You know the whole time saying cleanliness is next to godliness and that type of thing. But as you say, you lack of water and you're telling people to wash them hands.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
that's impossible.
properly. Not even wash it, I will watch it properly.
Yeah, man. So we have to pressure them because as Marcus Garvey said, government must be the expression of the will of the people. We must not be the servants of the politicians. The politicians must be our servants, but the only way is that we have to monitor, lobby and pressure the politicians so that them deliver not what they want, but what we the people want. Marcus Garvey in a philosophy and opinions. You know?
Yeah, man, of course. Yeah, man, give thanks, brethren.
Yes, give thanks. So, people in Jamaica, stay strong. Panic is no solution. We have to do what we have to do. And be aware, and don't be fooled, and don't be used. Blessed love.
Blessed man. So tonight we talk about fear, and how fear is a weapon against you. You know, fear, let me say the greatest fear is fear itself. And the worst fear is fear itself. You know, because in that there's no fear. So the fear of death is worse than death itself. Yeah, the fear of death is worse than death. And people get scared and afraid of disease pile up in them system too. So meanwhile you try to get rid of one disease, you create another one by the fear of the other. If you could only see inside of you or your head and recognize that fear is not just a thought. Fear is not just a thought, but it can be manifested in different ways that make it become physical inside of you. And by that I mean that because of it, there are certain parts of your structure that will hang on to it and make some physical things start to happen to you. So it's not just a thought. Fear is not just a thought. Fear is really a serious thing that develops in people that cause them to unleash certain anxiety inside of them. Cripple your toe. Yeah, man. Cripple your toe. Cripple. And sometimes it make you do weird things. Sometimes fear make you do weird things, man. Yes. Okay, where were they? Where they are, so. Here we go. Yes, this is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. You know, so we'll be back here at 2 o'clock with the Stepping Razor, the art of war. We know that things feel different right now in Jamaica. Yeah, it's like, yeah, man, things feel, it's a different feeling, man, different vibes, different way. You know, used to that way, yeah, but I guess it's a changing of the times, man. And we have to go really figure it out. Yeah, we really have to go figure it out because it don't feel too, it don't feel good. You know, it don't feel good at all. And we have so far to go. So far to go. Unbelievable how far we have to go. And all that we have to go is live in it. Is that the point? All that we have to go live in it. So you will say, we want to play this tune right now. We want to find the tune, but we can't find the tune. Okay, to the tune now.